Welcome back to Affirmations. I am wishing and hoping for everyone to have mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Hope all is going well. We don't want to blow out today, guys. We've got a lot of smoke with our Palo Santo. But wishing everyone mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical health. Hoping you all had a great week. And you know what we say, if it wasn't a good week, hoping that you can think of one thing you can do to make the week go better. Let's see. Want to thank all of my subscribers as well as those who are returning. Any newcomers, welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I post. Okay. Let's see. For those of you who are new, each week we pull from the self therapy card deck to kind of look at and help us focus on the healing of our people who are the descendants of slaves. A lot of times I will have clients use these once they've completed therapy goals and if they want to continue to do some self work. But again, we are wanting to utilize these in order to start looking at the healing of our people and really focusing on how slavery has kind of damaged us and things we need to kind of work on. Okay. Also, too, you can get those on Amazon. Eventually, I will have them in my store coming soon. Also, too, encouraging everyone to get post traumatic slave syndrome. America's Legacy of Enduring Injury and Healing by Dr. Joy DeGury. Okay, you can get these on Amazon. I will be having these in my store as well at some point. But again, we've heard of PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. No one's ever talks about post traumatic slave syndrome and how that plays out in our lives today. But again, we're here to look at our people's healing, right? Through, positive affirmations as well as watching what we speak. Okay, as well as looking at issues that continue to play out and some things we want to think about changing. Okay, let's see. And with that, for each week, for those of you who are new, we always grab the stones. And we're going to randomly select to see which cards we're going to be speaking from today. Okay. Also in the, the description section, you can find information regarding how to find a therapist if you have insurance, as well as how to find a therapist if you don't. Also, those who are interested in booking with me, there's information on how to contact me for a session, okay? And also important information regarding self-harm and where you can call to get support for that. And also, please do share this with family and friends, especially during this time of the year, okay? So let's see what we're going to get today. Let's see. Okay, we got the Bumblebee Jasper stone. Let's see if it's going to focus. Which is the action deck. Okay, so normally it's asking us to do something. Okay, so let's see what we get. Let's see what they're talking about today. What actions do we need to take, or what do we need to be looking at? Okay. Yeah, so a lot of times, sometimes we may not even know where to start, but sometimes it's all about just choosing to move forward even when we don't feel like it. Okay, so we're going to see what we pull today. And for those of you who are new, sometimes we have a tendency of getting the same cards, and we do believe spiritually is something to that. Sometimes we'll get the same card because there's something more to say about that, or maybe some of us are still struggling with the thing. Okay, all right, got one to fall out. Let's see, what do we have? Difficult tasks can make us feel discouraged, but overcoming challenges makes us empowered. Next week, give yourself a difficult but small task and make sure to finish it and see it through to the end. Okay, so difficult tasks can make us feel discouraged. feeling overwhelmed. Been there, done that. And different people find different ways to kind of conquer and overcome these kind of when we feel discouraged, right? For some of us, we turn to our spirituality. Some people, they seek other people to encourage them, okay? But we do, and what this is funny, this is actually showing us what we were just talking about, how even though you're feeling discouraged, is telling you to push through anyway, right? And when we look at, again, we look at everything through the lens of slavery. When we look at slavery, we were the masters of that. Challenges that were impossible. Could you imagine all the things that had to be done and the consequences and harm that would come to us if we didn't get it done? So we became masters of overcoming challenges and getting tasks done. Okay, so for every negative, there's a positive. So those were horrible conditions to live under. However, we were able to master how to deal with challenges. Okay, and especially when we felt overwhelmed. Okay, and so one of the things I joke about sometimes, and something I want us to think about. We always want to go through the lens of gratitude and being thankful. When we think about how hard we have it, always when you're feeling too overwhelmed, just reflect back to your ancestors, the ones that came before you, the things they had to suffer and go through to get us here and birth us to this point where we're actually sane and able to communicate and still able to enjoy life, even though our people were put through horrible conditions. Okay. And so tap into that and just remind yourself. I always say, at least I didn't get that slave shift. And what do I mean by slave shift? You know how you work the morning shift, the evening shift, the late night shift. We did not get that slave shift. Okay. And so if our ancestors could survive that and bring us to this point, certainly we can overcome tasks that we have to do today. Okay. This is a challenge again. They're wanting us next week to give ourselves a difficult but small task and make sure we finish it and see it through to the end. Okay. So do be encouraged, but also always reflect on that. Okay. Let's see what we're going to pick. Okay. Normally I do two, guys. So let's see what deck we're going to speak from. Let's see what we got. Okay. Let me kind of just do this. Okay. Okay, now we just got the Bumblebee Jasper. And I forgot to pull it out. Look at it. Just wanting us to take action, guys. But I'm putting this to the side and I'm going to pick another one, okay? Because we've already spoken from that deck. I just forgot to pull that stone out. Here we go. Let's see what we're going to get. Oh, but we had to get the Sunstone. Again, those of you who are new, we have an ongoing joke. We always get the Sunstone, if I can get it to focus. Yes, which represents our love life. And you remember the statement. Whenever, if you can destroy the connection between a male and female of a race nation, you destroy the entire group, right? And so we're definitely trying to heal that so we can kind of heal as a people and start creating healthy families and connections, okay? So let's see what we get for love life this week. A lot of times, again, we tend to get similar ones. Let's see if we can get something different this time. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. What we going to get? Okay, some pop. Let's see what we got. We've gotten this one before in the past, but I think we need to revisit it, okay? Am I a giver or a taker in a relationship? And the truth shall set us free. We know if we are givers or takers in the relationship. Is it that we're always making commands on our mate, where whatever they're giving, it's not an equal give and take, to where we don't wear our partner out? Do I give too much? Yeah. When we look at a lot of programming, there's always a lot of times when you're looking at, there's normally a person in a relationship that's given too much, that's expected to give to the point of literally almost self-harm. Health sometimes become mental health, physical health. They give too much, and then there's a mate there that does not have empathy. Okay, so those of us that's giving too much, again, we're taking everything from the stance of slavery. Are we a slave? Have we decided to be someone's slave, where we're catering and constantly going and not asking for help and not setting boundaries and limits? Okay, because we always talking about also too, are you a person that's taking on the role of a master, where you're demanding that of your mate to take on too much? But each has a responsibility, even the person that's choosing to allow themselves to be used. Okay, there has to be balance. And again, we've talked about this too. A lot of the religion that we've been given, a lot of things have been altered, certain things have been pushed. When you start talking about a patriarchal system, which was never meant to be, the Most High never meant for there to be an imbalance or an abuse of power. But that system works when you need to enslave a group of people and have them buy into this concept of one has a right to rule or to oppress or to abuse power. Another interesting thing, I always talk about, my sister, we talk a lot about looking at biblical scriptures and things, and we know a lot of books have been taken out. Those of you who are interested, look up the word Council of Nicaea, Nicea, where the Catholic Church took out certain books. But, as I understand, there's probably even more books on every topic, okay? Most High is not the author of chaos. He's given us instructions on every area. But when you're going to oppress a people or build, through conquerings, okay, and war, you're going to remove information so people, you have more control that way, okay? But we made the comment, and she said this, this is so profound. She says, when you look in the Old Testament, if anyone wants to Google laws in the Bible regarding slaves, okay, in the Old Testament, and it's detailed list of different guidelines and rules regarding slaves, and the do's and the don'ts, and a slave having a right to leave an oppressive master, okay? And she made this point. She says, if the Most High took the time to put rules and guidelines in the book about how to treat slave and slave rights, and a slave was considered on the bottom of a totem pole, certainly he gave rules and guidelines regarding a wife's rights, right? Children's rights, right? Husband's rights, we're very aware of those. Those are drilled into us. But the other people's rights that we don't see anything written about. So certainly if he thought and took the time for that regarding how you should treat slaves, there are other books on that. So a lot of times we have to use our intuition. We know, do unto others as we will have them do unto us, as well as, abuse of power. Okay, so something to think about. Let's see, what are some mistakes I've made in my past relationships or in my current relationships? Am I still making the same mistakes? And then the question is, do you even want to change? Because guess what? When you have an imbalance of power and you're benefiting, you don't want to give that up, right? But what's the consequence of that? Is it a consequence of that? Is it an unseen, unheard of spiritual consequence of that, of a book somewhere that they haven't shown us that it might be a consequence of that? Okay, so something to think about. Again, inhale, exhale. A lot of the things we talk about can be triggering. But again, we're looking at these things because we need to do better. And out of love, okay, we want to challenge ourselves so we can be healthy and grow as a people, okay? So let's see. We're going to move on to the affirmation. We're going to end it with the affirmations, okay? Let's see what affirmation we get today. Okay. And again, if these are hitting sore spots and you feel yourself feeling uncomfortable, sometimes that means that's something that you're struggling with, okay? And then maybe you need to look at, okay, and start healing, okay? So let's see what we're going to get. Okay. I had two fall out. But let's see. I'm going to pick the top one. Let's see what this is. It's called failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So instead of looking at failure as a letdown, if we look at it that the mistake or this failure is an opportunity for me to learn. Again, don't forget our principle: for every negative, there's a positive. What did I learn from this? Either to better myself or to help someone else, right? Avoid a pitfall or to have an understanding. Okay? And let's see what it says about failure. Okay, in the little book. Let's see failure. What is it talking about? Failure. Okay? It's saying, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Life here on earth is full of experiences. It is our human brain that views outcomes as good or bad. The Most High allows our soul, the soul simply views them as chances to grow. That's how he wants us to look at it. Learn to see the big picture of life instead of the minute. Look at the big picture. Failure to accomplish a task is merely the opportunity to evolve, and the negative connotation of the word failure can prevent you from trying again. You must come to the realization that there is no judgment involved when you are learning from lessons. Realize that what you view as a failure is just your soul or the Most High trying to communicate with you that there's another path. Embrace this. When one door closes, another opens. It is time for you to stop any negative emotional investment you have in an outcome. Revel in the knowingness that everything will reveal itself when it is meant to be. No matter what, be true to your dream and your creative process as well as growth. Okay? So with that, guys, I am wishing everyone a really great week, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.